Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here and welcome to some more Eternal gameplay. Today we're going to be trying out Scream Reanimator. I went ahead and grabbed a list off of Eternal Warcry. There are several up, but we're going to be using Manu S's list. The link will be in the description as always. One thing that I don't like about the list straight off is there are no Black Sky Harbingers in it. There are other lists that do have them. But again, there's differences. I always want to play a list as it is before I go making changes. I suspect that we will want some number of Black Sky Harbingers in this list. I may be wrong about that. We'll find out. There's several cards we don't have yet. Luckily, due to end of season rewards and dusting a bunch of premiums, I should have enough to finish this out, and we do. Excellent. Let's do that. Hopefully the investment's worth it, because that uses up all my shift stone. I do feel that this deck may be in a very good position now. It was fine previously. It was very popular on the ladder, but with the recent changes to cards in the 1.28 patch, it may be even better. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I do have a video up. I will also have the link to that in the description, or you can click the pop-up in the upper right-hand corner if you would like to see me go over the changes. But for now, let's go through this list. For Permafrost, 1 cost removal for non-endurance units, seems fine. 3 Annihilate, kill a unit with a single faction, very ubiquitous, kill target Sandstorm Titan card. Haunting Scream, a 2 cost, and also the namesake of the deck. Play a unit with cost 4 or less from your void, it gets charge and flying, sacrifice it at the end of the turn. For Sporefolk, 2 cost 1/2. When we summon it, discard the top 5 cards of your deck, so that fuels Haunting Scream, as well as our other reanimation spell, which is Grasping at Shadows. 5 cost, play a unit from your void. Vara's Favor to deal damage, gain life, and make sure we hit our power drops. Direwood Beast Caller, one of the things that we're looking to Haunting Scream if possible. A 3 cost 1/1 with Infiltrate. Play 2 5/5 beasts. Gorgon Fanatic, another Haunting Scream target, 3 cost 3/2 with Infiltrate, sacrifice Gorgon Fanatic to draw 3 cards and gain 3 life. Nocturnal Observer, one of the best enablers in the deck, a 3 cost 2/3. Summon, we get Nightfall. You may exhaust Nocturnal Observer at night to draw a card, then discard a card. So loot effect, very powerful, put the cards we want to reanimate into our graveyard. 3 Death Strike. This is another thing that's different about Manu S's list than a lot of lists. This slot is generally occupied by Feeding Time. I don't know which is better. We'll go with Death Strike and see how that works out. Rendra the Duskblade, another Haunting Scream target. 4 cost 5/5, summon Nightfall. Rendra has Lifesteal and Overwhelm at night. Very powerful card. Grasping at Shadows, we've already went over that. 3 Snowcrush Animist. 8 cost 4/5, Deadly, summon, kill all enemy units with 3 attack or less, stun all other enemy units, very powerful effect. And 4 Vara Fate Touch, 8 cost 6/6, Deadly, when you play a shadow unit, including Vara, play an additional shadow unit from your void. Interesting to note that Varas can change together, since it says play an additional shadow unit from your void. If you play a Vara or Grasping at Shadows of Vara, and there are other Varas in your void, you can bring all of them back, and then the last one can trigger and get another shadow unit. So very powerful kind of combo kill condition with this deck in the late game. 5 Primal Sigil, 2 Cobalt Waystone, Aegis is very good. 4 Shadow Sigil, 3 Amethyst Waystone to give us some Nightfall. We've got a lot of life gain in this deck, so the Nightfall is useful. 4 Crest of Cunning, 4 Felm Banner, and 4 Seat of Cunning. That is the deck list. Let's see how she runs, shall we? Would like to say that all of these testing videos are, by their very nature, going to be a very small sample size, so whether we do great or do poorly, it's not going to be a definitive example, I think we keep this, of whether the deck is great or not, but it should give us a feel for how it plays. So we've got turn 2 Sporefolk into turn 3 Nocturnal Observer, maybe turn 3 Haunting Scream, just depending on what we see. We will definitely start off with the Crest of Cunning. Gorgon Fanatic seems fine. Do we want to draw Gorgon Fanatic, actually? Yeah, that's fine. We can discard it with the Observer in the turn. Also would like to mention, I do have a real-life friend who does Magic the Gathering content on YouTube here, if that's something that you're interested in. His channel is Searsist. I will have a link in the description to that, as well as a notification on the screen. But if you like Magic the Gathering content, he does good content, and I would highly recommend checking him out. Streaming on Twitch as well. Alright, still waiting on the opponent here. Alright, so we really didn't hit a good Haunting Scream target. So let's start with an attack. Looks like we may be up against the mirror here. Nocturnal Observer. Go ahead and exhaust. Another Haunting Scream. Well, we want to discard Gorgon Fanatic for sure, so we can scream it back. Alrighty. Yeah, I feel like this is a mirror. Annihilate here, that's a good choice. This is our best enabler. So we can play this, or we can Haunting Scream and draw some cards. I think Haunting Scream's our best bet here. Let's Crest of Cunning. Grasp at Shadows. I do think we want to draw that. Let's Haunting Scream. We want the Fanatic. Attack with both. Get our trigger. Gain some life. Draw some cards. And it feels like we're off to the races. Do need another discard outlet to get this Snow Crushed Animist in the yard, though if the game goes on long enough we could just hard cast it. Our opponent's not really doing anything. Maybe they're on control instead of what we're playing. Well, let's attack. And then we will drop Rindra. Get some more Nightfall going. We want to draw all the cards. This is Lifesteal at Night, so we'll net some life back if we get to attack with it. Opponent is strategizing here. Permafrost, that is unfortunate. Alrighty. Hopefully they don't have another one. Let's see. Well, we want to attack. I mean, we could grasp at Shadows on something, but there's nothing I really want to grasp back. So we will Vara's Favor. Lay out a Shadow Sigil and another Rindra. Keep the Nightfall going. Also doing a bit of damage to the opponent through Nightfall. Lightning Storm, sure. Extract, okay. Well, we can Haunting Scream that back. Do some damage. I think that's what we want to do. Or we could just Haunting Scream back the Fanatic again. Yeah, let's draw some cards, shall we? Beast Caller's good. Alright. Well, I think we're going to go with Beast Caller here. If we can attack with that, we'll get 2 5/5s. We can start grasping at Shadows on the Fanatic if we want to next turn. It keeps the charge that it got from Haunting Scream. So we're going to lose one of these, probably not the Permafrost. It's one of the changes in the latest patch. The cost on this has been reduced, and the -2/-2 is now just for the turn and not permanent. So they must have removal for this if they're willing to use that to make us discard a card, right? Let's play our banner. Then I think we're going to grasp at shadows. And get our fanatic again. Almost certainly they aren't able to kill both of these. Yep. Beast Caller's gone. Kill 3 more, gain 3 life, draw 3 cards. Seems great to me. Another Animus. Would like to see a Vara at some point. For now, we're going to play out another Gorgon Fanatic. Alright, Feln Bloodcaster. Another Grasp. Want to be careful and not use up all our grasps on not Vara. Play a Feln Banner. Play Snow Crushed Animus to clear the root. Kill for this? Yep. Okay, that's fine. Still got a 4/5 in play. Champion of Cunning, okay. Well, we can just permafrost it. Let's crest just to see what's on top first. Yeah, I would like to draw that, please. Yeah, let's permafrost that guy. Swing for 4. And play out another Fanatic. I don't want to play the Sporefolk. I want to draw that Nocturnal Observer that's on top. Could have also grasped at shadows to get back our charged Gorgon. I want to save it, just in case we at some point mill Vara. Of course, in our hand, it could just be discarded through a card of the opponent's. Hey, pre-combat, we're going to play this and use it. And I'm not going to discard Vara. I would like to cast her. So discard that. And we're going to try to attack. Alright. Then we're going to cast Vara and get back Rindra. If they kill her without silencing her, we can just bring her back next turn. Feels like this game is in the bag. Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, though. Alright, Withering Witch, that's another change, so they have to play it first now, instead of playing Lightning Storm into it, because it only changes undamaged enemies. And yeah, they are dead, even with what they did there. They didn't have a Lightning Storm, so we got there. Sweet. Alright, nice. We earn the new promo card. This is interesting. A 3-cost 3/3 dinosaur. Flying. Fate. Your dinosaurs get +1 attack. Summon, gain Nightfall. That may be pretty good. We can get one of those for our first win every day. We get a pack for our first win. Bronze chest. Always hoping for an upgrade. Didn't get it. That's fine. Let's pop open our pack, shall we? Alright. Challenge by law. That's fine. Let's head back in. Alrighty, I don't think we want to keep this hand. We don't have any draw or discard outlets. That's a bit better. We can at least mill some cards. Would love to have a Haunting Scream or something along those lines. And this may be Feln versus Feln all day long. Everybody's aware of the card changes. Well, we'll start with a banner, since we don't need to play anything that's this turn. Next turn, we can Seed of Cunning into Sporefolk. We do have our Enabler now. We were lucky enough to draw that. Haunting Scream, that's great. Yeah, I think we go Sporefolk here. Hopefully we'll hit a good Haunting Scream target. Just go ahead and end the turn, see what we got. Direwood Beastcaller would be excellent if we can make that connect with the opponent's face next turn. And we can. Awesome. They are completely depleted. They could be having Vara come in a couple of turns, but for now we have an advantage. Since we are playing a 2-cost card, we can afford to Crest of Cunning here. We have one in our yard. I don't think I want to draw that. Let's put it on the bottom. Let's Haunting Scream the Beast Caller and get ourselves a couple of 5/5s. We'll end the turn. Alright, looting there. Gorgon Fanatic for them. Rendra, okay, so Overwhelm and Lifesteal. We can't annihilate that. We can keep Nightfall going though. We could get our Nocturnal Observer online. Let's see. Let's start with an attack, and I think we're just going to attack with everything. We don't care if this gets eaten, as it will then have the opponent taking 10. Well, 5 after the life gain. And that's what they're going to do. That's fine. So we dealt a total of 5 there. We do want to keep Nightfall going, I think. And I believe we want to get our own loots online, so let's do that. Permafrost, that's a great draw. At this point, I think we want to just discard a Sigil since we have favors to get more, and we will Permafrost their Rendra. So in hindsight, we would have been better off playing this pre-combat and getting our Permafrost so everything could have gotten through. Good to know for the future. We want to probably play our loot effects and things before we attack with this deck, it seems. However, if they've got Grasping at Shadows, which it appears they don't, they have 2 Varas in the graveyard, which may swing this game heavily in their favor. Haunting Scream for a Fanatic, that's fine. Does draw them some cards. Couldn't even have killed it if we had mana up, since Annihilates for a unit with a single faction. There's our own Rendra and our own Vara. Well, let's start with a loot. I think we are going to discard Gorgon Fanatic. Then we're going to play our Crest of Cunning. We'll keep a Death Strike, I think. Then they are depleted. Let's attack for 10. Yep, and this time we attacked before playing this, so they wouldn't know we had it. It's not going to do anything really when it comes down. Keep our Nightfall going practically forever in these mirror matches. Our opponent is down to 8, so we might get there before they chain off a Vara Reanimation. But nope, they've got it. Luckily, we can kill both Varas next turn with Annihilate and the Death Strike that are coming up. I don't know if that's going to be good enough, though. They get a Gorgon Fanatic back. It's got Flying and Charge. So they are going to draw and gain some life. But I think we've got them. So they block 5. And then they take 10, 11, 12. That should be the game. Banner. Annihilate. Death Strike. And we're going to attack with everything. Don't think they can do much at fast speed with 1 power-up. And yep, we got there. Awesome. Alright. Get a couple of packs here for completing our quest. Got a lot of quests piled up. Unfortunately, haven't been playing a lot of Eternal lately. Been very under the weather, chaining off sicknesses like a boss. Not something I'm really happy about. Alright, let's jump back in. Again, we've only played 2 games so far, but I will say thus far, this does feel like the best reanimation deck I've ever played in Eternal. Don't know if we'll keep that feeling. We're going to redraw this. It's too high cost. We don't have any enablers. And, I mean, we have a Haunting Scream. This hand's pretty poor, too. Actually think it's worse than the last hand because we've only got 2 power floating around. Alright, looks like we're up against Aggro. Or maybe it's grinded in. We need a power desperately. Actually would love to chain off 2 more powers, one of which needs to be Shadow, so that we can get Rendra down. I mean, that's something we can play in that can block a Grenadin, I suppose. Yeah, we just put 4 power into our Void. That feels horrible when we're stuck on 2. Alright, Suffocate, sure. Vara's Favor will do the trick, I suppose. We want to kill the one that doesn't generate another one, in case they're playing Shadowlands Guide. Would not like for them to get this back and get 2 creatures out of the bargain. Alright, if they're aggro, they are going pretty slow. We're going to go with Gorgon Fanatic here, since it has a better chance of brawling with what they've got going on. Probably just going to die, though. Which is also fine with us. We've got Haunting Scream. As long as they don't have a fast kill spell here. Let's see if they do. They've got something fast. Hopefully it's Annihilate and not Torch. And cool. Let's draw some power, please. Another Haunting Scream is fine. Don't want to permafrost this thing. Alright, Pyro Knight. So they are aggro. They've just had a very bad draw. Of course, we have too, in all fairness. So we could kill that. And Haunting Scream, if we have to. We could just Direwood Beastcaller. I think we want a Haunting Scream again. Gain some life, draw some cards. We could do this. We would get Nightfall, gain 5 life. But we still need some more power, so let's go with the Gorgon. Alright, there's Vara. And we did draw a power. That's good. I think we want to get Nocturnal Observer online, so let's do that. Go ahead and draw and discard. We're going to discard Snow Crush Animist and pass the turn. So thanks to Gorgon Fanatic, we're still at our starting life total after all those hits. Vicious Highwayman, sure. Alright, Death Strike, Death Strike. Deck is being very stingy with powers at the moment. Let's start with a Crest of Cunning, shall we? Don't know if we want a second Nocturnal Observer. Let's put it on the bottom. So, we've got a lot of options here. Probably our best bet is just to Grasp at Shadows on the Animist. So let's do that. Actually, that was suboptimal, which they're going to concede anyway. What we should have done, now that I've thought about it a little bit more, all of 2 seconds more, is we should have used our Observer, discarded Vara, then grasped Vara, who could then bring back the Animist, would have given us a better board presence. All of that's moot since we did win the game, but that's technically what we should have done. Upgrade, please. I want a pack. Aha! See, you gotta ask for what you want. Sometimes you get it. Oh my god. Alrighty then. Thank you for being so generous. Can we also get a legendary from the pack now that we're fulfilling wishes game? Alright. That was asking too much. I admit. That was being greedy. Let's jump back in. Alright, we can't keep this. not enough power. Everything else is irrelevant. That's a bit better. We're slow. Hopefully we'll draw some earlier plays. We'll definitely start off with our Seat of Cunning. If we don't draw anything earlier, we're not doing anything till turn 4. Our opponent's showing fire, so we may just be dead here. Or maybe not. Try to get a Beast Collar going. Very much expect this to die, like right now. Yep. So Haunting Scream off the top would be awesome. Even if we don't get that, though, we want a Shadow so that we can play something. Otherwise, we're not going to play anything even on 4. Alright, that's not quite what I wanted, but I suppose it'll do. So let's loot. Uh-huh. Well, I don't think we need 2 Cobalt Waystones when we're digging for a Shadow. We're kind of on Shadow or Bust here. Even a depleted Shadow source will do, since we can play some of our 4-drops. Yep, looks like we're against Rakano Commando here. They've got their stride going, so we're going to take a lot of damage really quickly. Hello, Second Observer. Can you help me in my quest for Shadow? You can't. Well, let's discard a Death Strike then. And Permafrost this, since it does the most damage. Alright, Enforcer, silence this. That's not great for us. Oh, silence that. You just want to get in there. Yeah, the torch too. Alright, fair enough. Gotta be a victim of RNG at some point. Can't just draw like gods forever. Well, we finally got a Shadow. Unfortunately, they have a flyer that's not exhausted. Let's leave that on top, shall we? So, we could play this out, or we could Haunting Scream back. Well, nothing useful. Or we could Death Strike this. We would take 6 and go to 4. Of course, if they have removal, we're in bad shape anyway. If we play this out and they don't have removal, we can block. We'll take 6 again. Plus 1 from the Nightfall. Yeah, we're in bad shape here, no matter what we do. Especially if they have a Vanquish. Oh, hello, Firefly down there. I've never seen you before. Probably just wasn't paying attention. All honesty. Alright, we got 2 Haunting Screams. So we're going to be gaining 5. Which will put us to 8. We can Haunting Scream Direwood Beast Collar to get some blockers. And then we have a Death Strike 2. They could have Protect. Let's play our Shadow Sigil. Haunting Scream for the Beast Collar. See if we can connect. Got removal. You should play it if you have it. Alright. Alright, up to 8 then. Got some blockers for the ground stuff. They have Protect, we're still in bad shape, but we have to try to kill this thing. So let's do that. Alright, good deal. Maybe we're not just dead. Deep Forge Plate kills us here. Soulfire Drake kills us here. Luckily we have an Aegis, so Burn doesn't. Okay. Okay. So we're not dead. Alrighty. So, I think our play is Rendra for the Nightfall, so this gains Lifesteal and Haunting Scream back the Beast Collar again. Then we do need blockers, so we're just going to attack with these two. Alright, I will definitely trade that and gain some life. Alright, in the turn. Maybe I should have attacked with these two too, since we were for sure getting these. Maybe that was just too cautious. Alright, Vanquish on Rendra, sure. Not thrilled about it, but it is what it is. Alright, down to 7 again. So, I think we need to Beast Caller again. Unfortunately, our Rendras don't have charge. So, Grasp for the Beast Caller that's still got charge. I'm going to swing with those. That will give us 3 blockers. We're in a really bad state, so we've got to take some risks here if we want to hope to win this game. You can afford to play safe when you're ahead. When you're behind, you got to make risky plays. And we're dead. Nothing we could have done. Good game, opponent. Alrighty then. Getting games fast and furious this morning. Not a lot of wait time. Alrighty. This is a weird hand. We're gonna try it. We've got 3 removal spells and a Spore Folk. Maybe we can get there. I'm guessing this is not a great hand, but we're gonna find out. Alright, Stone Scar. Maybe another Highwayman deck. Well, we play our Spore Folk. And in turn, let's look and see what we got. We got a Gorgon, we got a Beast Caller. All we need's a Haunting Scream. And we're in business. Alright, Outlaw from the opponent, so they are aggressive. Seed of Cunning, I think we're justified in permafrosting. Also stops the Warcry, and we'll just attack. Nothing to do but hope to draw something that does something besides permafrost. Alright, Champion of Chaos, that's getting permafrosted too. Gonna hold on to this Vara's Favor. We could kill a X1 if they play one. And we can't get the trigger from that yet, so let's play our Primal Sigil and pass. We want to run out of removal here shortly. There's another one of the card changes. Argenport Instigator now requires 2 Shadow Faction to cast. Yeah, let's do that. And Permafrost again. Death Strike can do a whole lot more than Permafrost can. If they happen to have anything with Endurance in the deck, they probably don't, but... we do have power up to Death Strike on their turn if necessary. Alright, they didn't play anything. Good. Well, there's Vara. Let's keep the Nightfall going, please. We want to draw some more cards. We are 2 power away from playing Vara. Right, another Instigator, sure. Anything else? Suffocate. Going to respond so we take less damage. Alright, good. So we're only going to take from 1 Instigator then. Pyro Knight. Got the answer to that. Glad I held you. Alright. Let's do that. And we're going to play the crest because we want the scout. And to the bottom, we want to play Vara next turn. Also want to stop drawing power now. 8 is the max that we need. Let's chain some stuff off. I think we want the Fanatic at this point. It's probably dead. Whatever we got back was probably dead, but the Fanatic has the most stats, so... Alright, Vara's dead too. At least that 6 didn't go to our face, right? They're now getting their war cry going. Oh, hello, Vara. Let's do some combo-rific stuff, shall we? Other Vara. Gorgon Fanatic again. And this is why the late game with this deck is so ridiculous. Every Vara you play gets every other Vara that's dead back, and they get other things. It's silly. Yep, our opponents had enough. Another upgrade? Nope. Probably exhausted all our luck on that silver to diamond one. Alright, I think this is going to be our last game. Win or lose. This would be an incredibly good hand if we had one more power. Let's keep it. Maybe we can draw a power. We'll lead off with a Shadow Sigil. If we don't draw a power, we're probably just going to roll over and die. Opponent's on Feln again. End the turn. Alright, they got a Sporeful. This seems to be a real mirror match here. What'd they get? Nothing worth reanimating. That's good. Unfortunately, we didn't draw our power, so we're in bad shape. This is not worth permafrosting. There are a lot better targets to permafrost in the mirror match, I think. Like that. So we're dealing with that and not even putting it into their void so that they can Haunting Scream it. Seems good. Yep, I'll take one all day long from that thing. Permafrost for you too. Actually, we're going to play this first. We don't want to kill that. That just enables Haunting Scream. Alright. So maybe we can pull out of this mess. Alright, they got a Vara's Favor too. Kill their own thing. That's very smart, especially if they have a Haunting Scream in hand. Seems like they don't, though. Sure. Alright, so this is real unfortunate. I think our play here is Favor. And annihilate that thing. Alright. So now we're needing Primal so that we can play Rindra. We don't draw that. Probably Beast Collar. Don't have anything to Haunting Scream. We could Haunting Scream Beast Collar if it dies, so that's probably the plan here since we didn't get our Primal. Opponent could very well permafrost our Beast Collar too. Nope, Black Sky Harbinger. So we now can't Haunting Scream. This is another one of the cards that got changed. Black Sky Harbinger's power went up by 1. Observer, please. Let's activate. Crest of Cunning, we do want that. I think we're going to discard Vara. Play our Crest. A Waystone. Yeah, I think that's fine. Pass. We're very far behind here, though. This game has not gone particularly well for us. Now the opponent has Vara. Into Beast Collar. Everything's terrible. Well, found banner. We can now Haunting Scream, since their flyer is exhausted. Let's do this. I'm gonna discard an Animist. Attack for our beasts. And we could favor here. We could cast one of these. I think we're probably supposed to Death Strike Vara. Sadly, if they have another Vara, they just chain them back, but I think that's the right play. Definitely could be wrong about that. Hopefully they don't have another Vara or Grasping at Shadows. Yeah, you probably shouldn't attack with that Harbinger unless you have removal. I could have another Haunting Scream or Grasping at Shadows, since our Beast Caller has charge now all on its own. Alright, Strategize. That's the one thing we've noticed in these mirrors so far, is other decks are playing Strategize and this build is not. There's a Fanatic. It's another Beast Caller. Do we want to continue Nightfall? Well, if we're going to play this, we're going to continue Nightfall anyway. And we probably want to play the Beast Caller too, so let's start with a loot. I think we're going to discard this seat. Then we'll play our Waystone. I think I'm going to attack with one of these. We're at 8, our opponent's at 26. That seems real bad for us. We'll play that and the Beast Caller. 2 attacks and we're dead. Alright, Annihilate there, sure. Feeding time there, yep. So we're just dead. Yep. Have to block here. Keeps us alive this turn, but we're dead. Well, maybe we're not just dead. When does Nightfall end? The end of this turn. Huh. Maybe we're not just dead. Yeah, we want to use this. Discard that. Vara. For Vara. For Animus. Okay. Maybe we got a chance. Black Sky Harbinger kills us here. So does them making Nightfall happen. And there it is. Good game. Alright. So we completed a quest even if we didn't win that game. Again, always like to stress that a video featuring 5, 6, 7 games is always a very small sample size. You need dozens and dozens of games before you can really get the feel of what a deck is doing consistently. This deck feels pretty good though, as is. I do still think that I might like Black Sky Harbingers somewhere in here. Maybe cutting one Snow Crushed Animist. Don't know what the other cut would be for a second Harbinger. Maybe one's enough. Death Strike seemed okay, though if the field is very heavily this deck, they probably should be feeding times. just to prevent them from reanimating their stuff and getting value out of it. Still though, I think that was a good sampling as far as letting us know how this plays roughly against matchups. I think this is probably the best reanimation deck I've played. It felt that way. There's probably still room to tune, of course, but overall this feels like a very good starting point. That said, the deck list is in the description below if you'd like to check that out on eternalwarcry.com. And thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments by leaving a like below. It really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.